Once again, we're coming to you from Dicka's Restaurant in the heart of Chicago, the city of the big shoulders, home to a certain team which come January will run roughshod over the competition in Super Bowl 26, a team that is known as the Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears. Bear down.
Bear down. Well, they don't have Mike Ditka. If they had Mike Ditka, they could have beat the Titans.
Or Refrigerator Perry.
Yeah, exactly. That's the Bears.
The Bears.
They got Coach Nagy out there for the Bears.
And Nick Foles for the Bears. The Bears.
Where's Mike Ditka when you need him? We want Mike Ditka for the Bears.
Mike.
Welcome! Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Jacques.
Hulk.
Jacques.
Hulk.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? The Titans.
The Titans. Tighten up. W. We got that W.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What you doing? Keep that W.
Jameis Winston style. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Right. So Tennessee with a big victory yesterday over the Chicago Bears, 24-17. Awesome job to the defense, stepping up, making major plays against the Chicago Bears, who they do have a bad offense. We do know that. Chicago fans, we do see that. But, hey, you guys came in as 5-2, you know what I'm saying? And, hey, it is what it is. So, big shout out to the Titans and definitely to the defense.
Right. Yeah, like you said, shout out to the defense. The Bears' offense is bad, but, I mean, it still, to me, has potential, right? I know it's bad. I know y'all got Nick Foles. Y'all actually, they have the Nick Foles from when he played for St. Louis. People don't realize that. Nick Foles played for St. Louis, okay?
Or Jacksonville.
Or Jacksonville.
Right.
But I honestly think they got the Jeff Fisher, Nick Foles version where he's serviceable. He's not going to give you a lot of wins, but he's going to be Now, he did get kind of hot there, like, later in the game. So, he was picking up a little steam. But like you said, shout out to the defense, man. The defense stepped up in a major way. We know that we have got rid of some components and we added some components. So definitely see improvement there. Let's hopefully we can carry that momentum into the next game. But hey, I'm proud of these boys. The boys was able to pull out the W.
Yep.
So that's the most important thing. And hey, tighten up, man. Good
tighten up. And as you said, Nick Foles did kind of pick up some steam a bit, man. He ended up having 335 yards, 2 touchdowns and no picks. But that was kind of at the end, we were just kind of just letting it happen, so to speak, just trying to close the game out, kind of some prevent defenses and things like that. But, he made plays when we needed him on defense. And
Vrabel didn't like that. He didn't like that. Vrabel was he expressed concern. He said, we need to finish the game. And I agree with him. I mean,
totally.
Don't
facts, no paper.
Don't get lax, because once you get lax, you let teams in the game. Something I respected about Bill Belichick is, and he still kind of does this, which they're struggling this year, but when they had their foot on your neck, they don't let up. Right. They literally keep that foot on your neck or on the gas pedal. So I think the Titans need to just learn how to do that. And that way we can close out these games with authority instead of just kind of letting it slip out. But other than that, man, great game.
Great game. We had guys all over the field like, Derek Roberson, Jayon Brown, Daquan Jones.
Jeffrey Simmons.
Yes, Breon Borders. I mean, guys just all over the place. Our defense was flying all over the field. So if we can have that same type of effort, I think it'll bode well for us. Now, we'll say Chicago has a bad offense. So, we'll talk about that a little bit later, too, to kind of figure out what is it? Is it our defense or was it their offense? We'll talk about that. But, hey, we can still give credit where credit is due. It's still an NFL team at the end of the day. You still got to play, right?
Right.
And so, yeah, man. Yes. Definitely. Awesome job by the defense. Great work. And congratulations again to the Titans going to 6-2, trying to make that playoff push. Definitely, man. Right. So Jacques.
Sure.
So we won this game, sir. The Titans. And so there are definite reasons, a lot of reasons why we won this football game. So could you give us your reasons as to why we won this football game?
Well, first, like I said, we said it earlier in the show. Big ups and credit to the defense. I mean, the defense was able to come as a unit and pull it out when they needed to. And when the offense kind of has been struggling for the past 3 weeks, I mean, it's evident that the offense and Tannehill hasn't been putting up those big numbers. Now, big plays, yes, but big numbers, no. You see what I'm saying? So we reverted back to how we were last year. Last year, we didn't put up big numbers on offense, but when it counted, it counted. So, like I said, congratulations to the defense. The defense stepped up early and often, and they were consistent. I mean, I don't know what the percentage on third downs. I think a third down percentage, Hawk, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm looking it up now here if I can find it. Well, anyway, third down percentage was way better this week than it's been all year.
Absolutely.
Okay? I don't know what changed. Well, like you said, we'll get to that in a minute. But third down, we were able to get off the field. And we were able to stop the run too.
2 for 15, bro.
2 for 15. Say, I would take it.
I would take it all day.
I would take it. Take it. 2 for 15 on third down is a huge improvement.
It is.
Huge improvement from where we were at first. So big ups to those guys. I mean, everybody was contributing on defense. The offense was serviceable and they worked with what they had, right? We knew that they were going up against a tough defense. And this defense, the Bears for the past 3 or 4 years have had a damn near top 5 defense, literally a top 5 defense. I mean, we know what they have on the defensive line. They had a good secondary and a good linebacking core as well. So that was a task to add Sambrello, Kelly, Nate Davis, and those boys to actually block, and Ben Jones to get in there and run block and pass block. You also had when Saffo went down. Jamil Douglas came in. Of course, he gave up a sack, but he settled down and he was able to play as a unit. What that tells me is they're comfortable as a unit now versus when they first all started playing together. So it's not the talent is there, but it's not top-notch talent. But when you play as a unit, it works. So big up to the offense when they needed to strike and when they needed to strike, and that big touchdown catch by A.J. Brown. Hey, the boy is elite, okay? He's elite. He's a snake, man. He strikes fast and he strikes quick. And his rack, that is his specialty. Like literally, his specialty is rack. It's hard to bring him down in that first attempt to tackle him. Hard. Second attempt, it's gonna be harder, right? So big ups to the offense when they needed to make big plays. They made big plays, and this is why we were able to win the game. What about you, Hawk?
Well, I'm gonna say energy. Okay, #energy. Okay. And I'm not talking about energy from an electrical bill standpoint or anything from, anything like that. The Titans play with a lot of energy on defense. Okay. They had a lot of guys that are hungry, right? Guys that are not being paid probably as much. You have guys that were here that was making a lot of money, as in a la Vic Beasley. And now you have guys out here making $1 million. Like man, I'm trying to get a contract out here. I'm trying to ball out. And that's how they played. Jayon Brown all over the field. He was all over the field. I think he had 10 tackles, and he had an interception and a fumble return. I mean, a caused fumble, forced fumble. Breon Borders had a lot of tackles. I think he had 9 tackles himself, right? Like, who's Breon Borders? They just picked him up from the practice squad. Amani Hooker had a heck of a game.
Man, he was smacking people.
He was. He was. That's one thing I really liked about this game. The Titans were hitting, okay? They weren't hitting folks. Derek Roberson was all over the field, just bringing a lot of energy. Harold Landry with sacks. Big Jeff, of course, causing a lot of problems. He had a big forced fumble there. That was pretty much the game winner right there with the touchdown by the newcomer, Desmond King. Mm-hmm. Desmond King had a pretty good game too, man, in coverage as well, and you could tell he had a lot of fun. Those guys were just around like wild dogs, man. I really enjoyed watching the energy that the defense played with. On offense, I'm going to say I've seen it a whole lot. I actually think Tannehill had a better game than what his numbers show because he had a lot of people dropping passes. He didn't. Again, I'm not going to walk away and say, he had a great game because he had some bad throws too. But it was at least 3 balls that could have been called at that time that, was dropped. The Corey Davis was a big drop. You know what I mean? Ferkser had a big drop too. So the offense played okay, you know what I'm saying? But, the way the defense played is they played a heck of a game. And, again, I'm going to say on top of this, the line against the Bears defense is real, ladies and gentlemen. The Chicago Bears damn near have a Super Bowl defense.
Yes.
For real.
Yeah.
And their offense is like 3-13 of a record, if you ask me. But, we stopped Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack didn't
One
have
tackle.
a good game at all. One tackle all game.
Mhm.
Khalil Mack was nowhere to be found. It was weird. But Roquan Smith and those guys were all over the field. So their defense had energy too. But I think ours played more inspired. So I'm saying simply, we brought the energy. We won the football game just by being disruptive, getting some sacks. And we talked about it in our pregame show. We said, this is a game where our defense could get back on track. This is a game where Nick Foles taking forever to throw the football. This is a game where we can get some sacks. That's exactly what we did. We struggle against quarterbacks that are quick strike quarterbacks. Nick Foles is not that type of a QB, nor is Phillip Rivers, who we play next week. So that boded very well for us on defense.
Right. And fun fact, people, I don't know if you know, and I know Desmond King announced this as well. He practices in the offseason with Vaccaro and Byard and all them cats. So that's why the chemistry, if you notice, the chemistry was there.
Right.
And he was able to just fit right in with those guys and had the energy with those guys. Because you see him having fun on the sideline. He enjoys. When he found out, he said this, when he found out he was coming to Tennessee, he was excited. Yep. So that's what type of energy we need in this building, people that want to be here, not people like Vic Beasley that just nonchalantly doesn't care. You know what I mean? So definitely, man, definitely shout out to them boys.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So
we're talking about the defense, right? We know we played the Bengals last week, and we know they pulled it out.
Yep.
A lot of that had to do with our defense, okay?
Yep.
Why did the defense look different versus this week versus last week? So tell me the comparisons. What do you see? What's different? And I'm gonna make the question a little hard for you. Take the fact that it's the Bears' offense out of the equation, okay?
Okay. All right. Because I would have put that in the ingredients on the cake, right? Somewhere in there in the ingredients.
That's the cake. We already got the ingredient.
So we'll take that ingredient out. We don't need that ingredient. That's vanilla extract. You might not need that on every single cake or dessert that you make. I get that. I'll take that. Okay. So the one reason I think is because I think they are continuing to hear so many people criticizing their defense, right? And then you give people opportunity. Sometimes in life, man, you just want an opportunity. You see the mistakes that people are above you are making. And it's like, man, if I get out there, I'm gonna make it happen, right? We have players from the practice squad that's trying to earn something. They're gonna play their best. They're gonna come out. They're trying to earn something. And then we have players like Clowney. I know he's hurt, and I hope he comes back, and I hope he comes back balling. But Clowney's made his money. Vic Beasley's made his money. Jonathan Joseph's made his money. Those guys are, they played okay, right? Borders, Derek Roberson. These guys came in playing. And it's like, who is Borders? Who is this guy? They've had Wyatt Ray out there. They had guys that no one really knows about, like practice squad guys coming in balling. But Tart, I was like, who's Tart, right? Exactly. And even the punter, Allen, had a good game. The snapper had a good game. I mean, Allen had a really good game punting the football. So exactly. So I think these guys are like hungry. I think that was a part of why our defense looked different. Is because opportunity presented themselves, right? Because some of those guys are going back to the practice squad today. So, so I just think like right now it's like, okay, again, I'm taking the Bears offense out of this because I want to talk about it, but I'm not. But I will say, I just think the energy was there for our team because of the fact that they had opportunities. Players like Derek Roberson has always been a high energy guy, always. So to the point, it's like he should be playing more, right? Border seemed like to be an energy guy at corner. He made a lot of tackles. He was all around the football field, things like that, man. So new life, new blood. Sometimes it takes that. Like if you're in a bad relationship, man, you get out of it down the road, you get your new relationship, man, it might work just because of the energy. It's new. It's something like that, man. So that's why I think that. What about for you, man?
So for me, it almost mimics what you say, but also I will add to that. You say about the energy, but I also look at when the Titans were good on defense. You didn't really have big names, right? You didn't really have big names when we were stopping the run, and you didn't really have big names. When we brought in JD and Vic Beasley, if you notice the defense, everybody on defense looks lost. Everybody looks out of place. Everybody doesn't have that energy. It almost makes you think, are we scheming just for JD and Vic Beasley to get on the line and literally rush the passer because we're going off what their name is and how much we've paid them versus, hey.
Facts! No paper!
The Titans literally got here with rookies and draft picks, okay? Rookies and draft picks, dog. Rookies and draft picks. Okay, I'm going to say this again. Rookies and draft picks. It's out of our character to go out and get big names to, hey, say, we're doing it. We're putting all in our chips on Vic Beasley and JD. I understand JD. Vic Beasley, I think that was a toss on John Robinson where he seen something and he seen potential and he thought he could pull that potential out of what his rookie year was going to be. Vic Beasley, you are who you are. You always say this, Hawk. You are who you are, right?
Yep.
We knew this. John Robinson already accepted it. He bit the bullet. He's like, okay, I did what I did. But what I've seen is I'm a big fan of Derek Roberson. Now, last year, me and Hawk, when Roberson got in, I think it was in the playoffs. Well, it wasn't in the playoffs. It was
right before the playoffs, about 2
right, it was right before the playoffs.
Yes.
We were looking like, who's number 50 and why is he out here getting pressure every other snap, literally? Yes. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? And Roberson did that again, literally. I mean, he was disruptive, man, disruptive. And that was a decent left tackle or right tackle. Where I think he was on the left side. It was decent. Leno, okay.
Yes.
Decent. He's decent, good right?
Decent,
Imagine if he's going up against a left tackle that's not decent. How much what he can do.
Right.
Literally. I mean, he was creating pressure, getting Nick Foles uncomfortable. I said, where was this energy when JD and Vic Beasley was playing, right?
Yep.
Right? Then you equal in somebody like King who wants to be here. Hey, I want to be here, guys. I like it here. I was excited when the trade happened. Hey, let's get to work. Then you find out that he's worked with Kevin Byard and Kenny Vaccaro in the offseason. Hey, you already have continuity with these guys. You know how these guys work, right?
Yep.
I know their tendencies. Now, granted, he did get beat in some coverages, and when he was covering, and he did get beat in some one-on-one matches, but he's not as special. He's not a man corner. He's a zone guy, right?
Right.
And he didn't practice, people. Think about it. I seen some fans complaining where, well, he got beat on this. I'm like, people, he didn't practice. He had Zoom calls, okay?
Right.
He didn't practice. Let the man get some practice time and then criticize him.
That's right.
He came in and ran a fumble. Got a fumble and ran it they got a touchdown.
Yep.
That's rare. I don't know what's wrong with this team. This team don't practice. They're just the best team in the world. When they practice, they trash. But it's just what I see from last week's defense and this week's defense is personnel changes. You mentioned it earlier, Borders. We were looking, me and Hawk looking, who is Borders? Using the sideline. You know, when you play corner, it's you, your man, and a third defender, the sideline, okay?
Yep.
And you use that sideline to your advantage, right?
Yep.
Now, we got these athletic receivers that can toe tap like ballerinas, but, I mean, literally, you use it to your advantage. And Borders, it wasn't no drop-off. Matter of fact, he played better than Jonathan Joseph. Now, people, Chicago Bears don't have no slouches at receiver.
Right, they don't.
They don't have no slouches at receiver.
Their team on offense.
That's the strength of their team on offense. So what that told me, I said, okay, they played better with a almost comparable group to the Cincinnati Bengals, but a little bit better.
Right.
In the receiving core. And I'm like, okay, hey, something's up. So this defense from last week's defense is personnel changes. And like you said, the energy there. And even Big Jeff said it too. Jeff said, man, we had energy. When you have players talking like that, they know, hey, coach, the energy's not here. We have people in here that's not on board. Wink, wink. Vic Beasley. Wink, wink. Jonathan Joseph trash. Get him up out of here, right? You could almost say that about JD. I don't want to put JD in that category yet, right?
Right.
I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. He might be out for the rest of the season when I'm here, right?
Yep.
But they tend to play better. It's a weird thing, man. It's a weird thing.
Yep.
So,
yep.
And Jayon's playing lights out. So,
yeah, man.
I'm proud of the defense. I just want to see continuity and consistency, and we'll see how it goes. So,
correct. And to add to that real quick, Jacques, one thing I didn't mention, and I mentioned it in the pregame, is running a 4-3 on defense.
Yes, you did. You mentioned that. Yes.
Yes. To put in your four best D linemen up, not your three. Put four up there and pass rush. Go out Roberson, Harold Landry. Put them at your two ends, right? Jeffrey Simmons and Daquan in the middle.
What did they do, Hawk?
Sacking the quarterback and applying a lot of pressure, bro.
Didn't you notice Daquan was disruptive up the middle?
Daquan balled out. Daquan balled yesterday, dude.
Where was that at? I ain't never seen. I probably seen Daquan do that 2 or 3 times.
Right, exactly.
He was disruptive.
Showed up.
He showed up.
Montgomery had nowhere to go. Daquan was killing. Their best run was by a linebacker.
By a linebacker, it was
on a special teams play.
It was Hawk. I think you own to something, bro.
Yep.
I think you own something.
Yep.
It worked.
It worked.
Because
It worked.
If you think about it, Robertson is a pure pass rusher.
That's all he do.
He's not a drop back linebacker. That joker is crazy. You look
Yes.
if you have seen Roberson looks crazy, okay? And
Yeah.
I like football players like that. I used to love playing with crazy football players because
Exactly.
I knew they don't have lack of energy and they bring my energy up. Like, this joker's crazy.
That's right.
I want some of this. So
That's right, Jacques. That's right. So speaking of these new players that we've been talking about, right? You know, when you look at this victory, I mean, how important do you think their play was into this victory?
oh, very important. I mean, the punter was it punter Jones?
Yes.
Jones. I mean, it wasn't no drop off. It was not a drop off from Kern. He punted smart.
I mean, Allen.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes,
Allen. Hey,
Brian Allen.
Brian Allen was on point. Literally on point. The long snapper on point. Okay. Allen and Gostkowski played together when they was in New England. So you know the continuity was there as well.
That's
We
right.
didn't have no bobble snaps. You would think a long snapper, a new long snapper, and a punter, and a suspect kicker would mess up.
Right.
But no. I mean, literally, it was no big drop off. Bringing in King, didn't see no drop off. Matter of fact, like I said, he had struggled in coverage a little bit, but I equate that to not practicing, right? You're
And
physically
DBs are not going to be at 100%. They're going to get beat.
Exactly.
It
Especially
happens.
in this new league, this passing league. Like,
Yes.
this is a new passing league. This is what happens, right?
Right.
Also, you got Borders. Like we talked about Borders coming from the practice squad contributing. I mean, literally. The new additions brought that energy, and these new additions probably saved the defense for this year because, like you just said, Hawk, we got Phillip Rivers coming up, right?
Yep.
He's not a quick strike quarterback. Man, they've been turning the ball over. They record kind of deceives itself a little bit, okay?
Right.
Got Lamar Jackson. We know we did Lamar Jackson last year. The Baltimore Ravens are not playing up to par like they were last year. So this gives me hope with this defense. And with this defense, they actually played like this defense played like they had nothing to lose.
Yep.
They played
On paper. Yes.
They played literally like they had nothing to lose. I was looking at the defense. I was like, they're playing like they 3-13 or 1-7. I mean, literally, I'm like, if we get this every week, man, and the offense gets on point, we got us something special, literally.
Right, sir. That's right.
So for me, man, they contributed, and I hope they continue to contribute. You know what I mean? I hope they continue to contribute. But what I seen was this is the smartest thing John Robinson was able to do was make changes when the changes needed to be made, and he made the right changes. He didn't go out and get the top-notch star. He went out and got mediocre people that you would call them, but they are team players and they contribute and they're the Titan way. This is our way, the Titan way. We're team players. We're blue-collar guys. We come in and we're going to smack you in the mouth. We're going to play Titan football. What about you, Hawk?
They played a vital role in this game, man. Again, opportunities presenting themselves when the door opens for you, you better kick it open, right? And that's exactly what they did. Breon Borders, he had 7 tackles, 2 assists as well. I mean, he was in on 9 tackles as a corner. And, before the game, I hadn't really heard about this guy. Desmond King, coming in from the Chargers. I think you can't really ask much more from him in his first game. He was saying he stayed in the hotel for a whole week prior to the game. He said, all I did was study the playbook, right? And it showed. He got in there as if he had been there forever, right?
If nothing else, trying to get into position for Cairo Santos to come on and put him on the scoreboard. And they flip it out to Montgomery, who loses the ball. It's picked up by the Titans. And it's the newcomer, Desmond King, who's going to run it in for the touchdown. Desmond King, who was acquired in trade from the Chargers this week.
Right. Awesome job to him. Jamil Douglas coming in, playing very well as a guard. I know Michael Pruitt got hurt, so I'm not sure. They say he's going to be out only for a week, so I'm glad to hear that. You know what I mean? He's a sprain, not a tear. That's good. So I'm not sure who they might have to replace him. But, man, like you've always said, Jacques, next man up, bro. And that's the mindset that the Titans have had this year. Milton was making some plays.
Right.
I mean, it's like, who are these guys? Tart? I'm like, who?
Tart.
So, yes.
Did you see he was disruptive. Did you see him?
He was number 78. He was out there being disruptive. They played like they've never played football before, right? They was just a bunch of wild dogs out there. Right. So if it wasn't for those new guys bringing the energy, I don't think we would have won this football game. We won this because of energy. And the new guys brought that new bloods. Like, okay, this guy, he's pumped. I think I've never really seen Harold Landry that excited. Harold Landry was jumping up and down. I was like, that's Harold. He was making sacks. He was going crazy. I was like, I see you, Landry. Because sometimes I think like Landry seemed like a kind of a chill cat. And I finally kind of saw him light up a little bit. To the fact, again, running kind of a 4-3 defense at times. He's like, oh, it's just me and one tackle. I'm going after this guy instead of having to fight two offensive linemen every play. So big ups to the new guys. And, hopefully we keep these guys and can add to when we bring, hopefully, Adoree Jackson back. We can add them to the mix. So, and Christian Fulton and those guys.
And to add to your quick point, like you said, the energy was amazing. It's like they were playing in their positions. Yep. If you notice. And Tart, he disrupted the play on the goal line when Allen was coming back, and he disrupted that play because it was supposed to be when they was in the red zone, Nick Foles dropped back. He was almost like a pitch play to Allen, and Allen was going to come around. Yeah. But Tart got in there and disrupted. And I'm literally like, where have these guys been? Literally. Like, don't bring no more guys in. You have guys in your practice squad and your bench that you can bring up here and let them play. Derek Roberson is, undrafted? Yeah,
he's undrafted.
He's undrafted, and he's contributing in a big way that's awesome. So, man, big up to those guys. So, Hulk, we got to have some players of the game.
Absolutely.
Players of the game on offense and a player of the game on defense.
So I know this was a game people probably won't say much about Derrick Henry, and I actually like what they did with Derrick Henry this game. They kind of kept him. He only played like 25 snaps out of 77. So he didn't get a chance to even –
He played 21.
21, okay. So he didn't really get a chance to really break the mold to become the player of the game. A few runs he had I thought was going to be pretty good. But for me, offensively, was A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown, Arthur Juan Brown. 5 games in a row of over 100 yards receiving. This guy here, 25 yards a catch. He is the king of breaking the tackle on the first play, like on the first catch. As soon as he catches the ball, whoever's trying to tackle him, I don't care if it's a linebacker or a DB, he's going to break that tackle. Okay, it takes 2 to make the tackle on this guy. A.J. Brown also makes unbelievable catches. The throw that Ryan Tannehill made to A.J. Brown looked very similar to what they did last year against Houston. It's like, I can't believe he just made that throw and he made that catch. What a play. A.J. Brown balled out. Again, it's not that A.J. Brown gets 6 or 7 catches. He gets 4 or 5 catches and gets 100 yards because he breaks tackles and he's gone. So, Arthur Juan, if you're listening, awesome job, young sir. Ole Miss, man, they had some great receivers, man. Him and DK Metcalf, 2 big, strong receivers. So, A.J. Brown is really stepping up. Was kind of down on Corey Davis because Corey Davis had a really good game last game. He had no catches this game. So, A.J. Brown has been consistent in catching the ball. So, for me, offensively, A.J. Brown. On defense, I got to say Jayon Brown, right? The Brown brothers, right? What can Brown do for you, as they say on UPS, right?
UPS, old company, bro.
Exactly. So, Jayon Brown was a part of 10 tackles. He also had a sack. He also had a fumble, a caused fumble as well. Jayon Brown, the past 2 games, is playing like, hey, I'm trying to get paid next year. Holler at your boy, okay? I'm out here balling. And not just that, he's there on every down. Like, Rashaan Evans doesn't play a lot on passing downs. Jayon Brown is out there on the field every single play, and he's making plays. I like the fact that he's been healthy. He hasn't really been as nicked up as he has been with his shoulder. Jayon Brown is playing real free right now. He's making a lot of plays. He's being a playmaker right now. So, Jayon Brown, no question for me, is the defensive player of the game. What about for you, man?
So, of course, like you said, Arthur Juan Brown for my offensive player of the game. AJ, 4 catches. And he's doing it where he doesn't have to catch 11, 12 catches a game. It's literally, he can get 3 catches, and that 1 catch that he gets can hit him a rack of 72 yards. And all he has to do is get 2 more catches for 15, and he's good to go. Right. Okay? I've never seen a receiver do that. I've never seen a receiver do that. It's rare, man, to see a receiver just that rack that he has. He's a running back. Literally, he's hard to tackle. Literally. He had 4 catches for 1-on-1 and a touchdown, dog. Come on. And then the touchdown that he did catch, literally, last year's catch that he caught I think when they played the Texans, and it was that corner catch that he caught, and he caught it for, I think it was a touchdown, was amazing. This catch, I couldn't believe it. I said, Tannehill, what in the world are you doing? And I looked up, and AJ caught it, and I was like, and he drug him in the end zone. I said, wow, that's effort. You can't teach that. It's effort, literally. So, A.J. Brown is, like you said earlier, Hawk, and I always preach this consistency. A.J. Brown is consistent. That's the problem I have with Corey Davis. He's not consistent, okay?
Yep.
I hope we do resign him, good. If we don't, good luck to your next team, brother. But you got to get consistent, man. But A.J. has shown me if he gets blanketed the first couple of plays or the first quarter, he's going to break. He's just like Derrick Henry almost, literally, just like Derrick Henry.
Yep.
You know Derrick Henry's going to break the big one soon. You just got to give it time. Yep. A.J.'s going to catch he's going to catch and he's going to run and he's going to break the big one soon. So just be patient. And the deep threat, you would never think that A.J. Brown is a deep threat. But he's a deep threat. And I would like to see them get him more involved in those deep routes and those long go routes. Because it was the one play that Tannehill threw, he kind of stopped. I thought he could have had a little bit more effort and stretched out and caught the ball. Yes. I was like, okay, AJ, I don't know what. I thought he pulled his hamstring. When I seen it, I kind of got worried. I was like, okay, why did you stop? So for me on offense, defense, like you said, Jayon, man. Jayon, as we criticized Jayon early, Jayon was having a bad couple of games in the beginning of the season. But, I mean, to come out with 10 tackles, 1 sack, a tackle for loss, and a forced fumble, can't beat it, bro. You can't beat it. You can't beat it, literally. I mean, he's out there balling, and that's what we need in our linebacker. Literally, that's what we've been missing. I mean, he's disruptive in the run game. He's disruptive in the pass game, okay? Jayon, keep it up, man. I'm literally keep it up because you're playing like a Pro Bowler right now. But I know they're not going to give it to you, but you're playing like a Pro Bowler. And you're picking up the slack from Rashaan Evans because right now Rashaan Evans is slacking right now. But those for me. And I also got an honorable mention, man. Okay. Now, we don't never do this on the show, but Derek Roberson, man. I am a fan of Mr. Roberson. He was disruptive. He was batting down balls. Yep. He was in the backfield. I think he almost had a sack, and I think Landry ended up getting a sack. Derek Roberson, people can turn into something special. He just has to get the reps, and he has to stay healthy. And I think his technique is coming around that speed rush, right? Yep. He has it. He's not a big line. He's not a big deep right end. He's not big at all. You almost think he's a linebacker and how big he is. Like he's a true linebacker. But what I'm seeing in Roberson is I'm a fan of, and it's almost to the point where the energy that he's bringing to the team is something else. Because to me, that's one thing that I've seen from the team versus when we got King and then on that defensive line. Because the defensive line hasn't played like that in years, dog. And they were bringing the heat. So that's an honorable mention for me. I would like to see him get at least a couple of sacks. If he can get a couple of sacks, we got a problem because, hey, we're going to have to pay that man. If he can be consistent, he shows me that he's consistent with rushing the passer. Sometimes rushing the passer doesn't mean getting a sack. Sometimes rushing the passer means getting that quarterback uncomfortable and getting them out the pocket. I'll take that, right? Yep. Getting them rolling, getting them on skates, getting them throwing off his back foot. Yep. Creates turnovers.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right, man. Facts. So, ladies and gentlemen, that ends the show, folks. Thank you again, as always, in joining into the show. We're having a blast. Great job by the Titans in winning the football game. As always, you can hit us up on email at TennesseeTitansWeekly@gmail.com. We are on Instagram at Tennessee Titans Weekly, as well on Twitter at Titans Weekly 24/7, man.
Right. And also, like I tell you every show, cut your notification bells on by the subscribe button. It'll let you know when we go live. It'll let you know when we post any content. So please cut that notification bell on. Also, share the video, okay? Gets us in the YouTube algorithm. You share the video. You can share it to your cousin, your auntie, your dog, your cat, your mama, your daddy. I don't care who you share it to. Share the video. And also, if you're a fan of any NFL team, I say this every show, subscribe to the channel. We got fans from other teams that are subscribed to the channel. We talk about football. We love football, and we bring good content. So, hey, tighten up, and let's get to Indy, and let's get this W, and let's get on a run here, y'all.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So, as we sign off, we will see y'all probably Wednesday or Thursday because we do have a Thursday night game. So, we will definitely see you for the pregame for the Colts. Ladies and gentlemen, Dub Titans.
Tighten up.
Tighten up. Let's do it.